may be a little red dot, but our reach is global. Many local companies have expanded beyond our shores, broadening their footprint across the globe. Given today's fast-changing global economic climate, companies should consider venturing overseas to capture new opportunities, enhance business competitiveness, and achieve sustainable growth. Internationalization is a journey, starting from identifying the right market for expansion, to strengthening your capabilities, to taking that first step into the market. However, the journey is not always smooth sailing. Along the way, you will need the right resources and support. Help is at hand. Introducing Global Connect at SBF, the partner for Singapore companies looking to go global. Regardless of your internationalization journey, Global Connect at SBF can help. Established with the support of Enterprise Singapore, backed by an extensive network of partners globally, Global Connect at SBF delivers a comprehensive suite of services to support you on your journey. Join the other Singapore companies who had successfully expanded overseas. Embark on that journey now. Contact Global Connect at SBF today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the journey to internationalization. For companies who are keen to venture overseas, Global Connect at SBF is here to partner you along this exciting journey. Be it about identifying the right market for expansion, or strengthening your capabilities, or taking your first step into the market, Global Connect at SBF can help in the following areas: internationalization advisory, market information, business matching, capability development, and in-market facilitation. Our friendly market advisors are readily available to help you along this journey. Reach out to them for a complimentary discussion today. Together, we can make your internationalization journey come true. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our Singapore-Mongolia business matching webinar shortly. Before we start, a gentle reminder that the information in this webinar is intended to provide general information only and does not contain or convey any legal or other advice. All efforts have been made to ensure the information provided in this webinar is accurate as of publication date. The organizer and presenters reserve all rights in the material provided. Next slide, please. Your Excellency, Mr. Tomo Hakbadoch, Ambassador of Mongolia to Singapore, Mr. Darius Lim, Assistant CEO of Singapore Business Federation, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us for our Singapore-Mongolia Business Matching webinar, co-organized by the Singapore Business Federation and Embassy of Mongolia in Singapore. We would like to thank Ministry of Foreign Affairs Mongolia and Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry as the supporting organization for today's event. Next slide, please. Without further ado, I shall now invite Mr. Darius Lim, Assistant CEO of Global Business of SBF, to give the opening remarks. Mr. Lim, please.
His Excellency Tomo Hakbadoch, Ambassador of Mongolia to Singapore, distinguished guests and participants. Thank you for participating in our Singapore-Mongolia Business Matching webinar today. The Singapore Business Federation is honored to co-organize this event with the Embassy of Mongolia in Singapore. On behalf of SBF, I would like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia and the Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry for their strong support for this webinar. As many of you know, this year is an important year for Singapore and Mongolia. It marks the 50th anniversary of diplomatic ties between both countries. A deep and long-standing relationship exists between the people of Singapore and Mongolia, spanning across business and culture. And I'm confident that both business communities in both countries will build upon this strong foundation and bring the economic relationship to an even greater height. Our bilateral trade covers a wide range of goods such as textiles, industrial machinery, food and beverage, consumer goods. Personally, I'm a big fan of organic wolfberries from Mongolia, and so is my family. It is a permanent feature on our weekly grocery list. We've read many studies suggesting that the high antioxidant quality of the wolfberry can improve one's vision. Now, as Singapore looks to diversify our food sources and our trading partners, I'm confident that our bilateral trade will continue to grow, our business links will flourish, and we will get to enjoy more Mongolian products in our supermarkets. This year, we were unable to organize a physical business mission to Mongolia to celebrate the milestone in our bilateral relationship as a result of the pandemic. I would just like to mention that there were many Singapore companies who signed up for this business mission, and they were very disappointed when the trip couldn't take place. But nevertheless, we are grateful that technology still allows us to meet in these circumstances. And today's business matching webinar will introduce the latest opportunities and update on the investment climate with Mongolia. And with our coordinated efforts, we will be able to forge closer business ties between Singapore and Mongolia and identify new opportunities in spite of this trying time. Now, we are very happy to see among today's attendees a good spread of businesses from both Singapore and Mongolia. SBF understands that both business communities are eager to resume international trade and collaboration, so we will continue to try our best to facilitate the Singapore company's journey as they move on to improve the business ties and linkages with their counterparts in Mongolia. Now, I urge everyone to participate actively in today's session and hope that you will have a fruitful time ahead. It is not every day that we have a webinar such as this with our friends and businesses from Mongolia. And I would like to wish everyone a fruitful webinar and for everyone to stay safe and healthy. And for our dear friends in Mongolia, may I say, Iruhi Bayesa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Now, I shall invite His Excellency, Mr. Tumor Lahabadoj, to give the special remarks. Your Excellency, please.
Thank you, Aileen. Mr. Lim, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. On behalf of the Embassy of Mongolia and on my own, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the Singapore-Mongolia Business Matching webinar, and to express my most sincere gratitude to all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to participate. Following the success of the Singapore-Mongolia Business Dialogue last year in Singapore, Embassy of Mongolia is co-organizing the business webinar with the Singapore Business Federation, Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, National Development Agency of Mongolia, Investment Research Center under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, and UnGlobal, to commemorate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Singapore and Mongolia. Despite the global challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, this webinar aimed to serve as a valuable platform for establishing business connections between representatives between Mongolia and Singapore. I'm fully confident that the information provided by our honored speakers today will enlighten and pave the way for future cooperation between the respective sides. Our two countries have successfully worked together in political, social, trade, economic, and educational areas over the past 50 years, and today Singapore has become our trusted friend and a reliable partner in the Southeast Asian region. The trade volume between Singapore and Mongolia increased fivefold between 2016 and 2020, and threefold since 2019. As of July 2020, Mongolia has exported products and goods worth $77.5 million to Singapore, and imported products and goods worth $9.4 million worth, with a trade surplus of $68 million. This is a small number, but I think it's the beginning of a larger cooperation in the future. Mongolia mainly exports mineral products, including iron ore, copper concentrates, and semi-precious gold to Singapore. And Singapore's investment in Mongolia has also increased in recent years, primarily in the industries of iron ore mining, energy, real estate, food and beverage, education, retail, and hospitality, which made Singapore the 5th largest investor in Mongolia. The recently Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister of Republic of Singapore, Mr. Heng Swee Keat, who is also a coordinating Minister of Economic Policies, in his speech identified 4 ways that Singapore's economy must adapt. I would like to quote some of his words, that Singapore must find new ways to be a vital node with rich and deep interconnections with the rest of the world. And this includes forging new forms of connections, such as digital economy agreements, while deepening linkages with regional markets to ride on Asia's potential. Through all this, Singapore must remain open to investment in talent from around the world, even while protecting Singaporeans' interests. Unquote. So I think this one is in line with what we are doing today. Today we've gathered for the Singapore-Mongolia Business Matching webinar to provide a clearer and better understanding of the present investment climate and policies in Mongolia, and to create possibilities for exploring potential investment collaborations between businesses. I hope that all the participants will make the most of the business matching opportunities today. Following the business webinar, a list of participating Mongolian companies' profiles with potential investment interest inquiry will reach all the members of the Singapore Business Federation to forge new partnerships and areas of cooperation between both businesses in this challenging time of worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. We shall overcome it together and come out stronger. I am confident that Singapore and Mongolia will continue to build upon the strong foundation of our bilateral relationship, and the economic cooperation between our two countries will scale even greater heights in the next 50 years and beyond. With that, I would like to thank you and wish you everyone a fruitful day ahead. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We hope that everyone will have a fruitful time in learning about the business opportunities in Mongolia today. Here is a run-through of our program for today's webinar. Before we start today's session, I would like to remind you that if you have any questions that you would like to raise, please email to market.cna@sbf.org.sg. We will not be having any Q&A segment in today's session. For the next segment of today's event, I will pass the floor to our Mongolian MC, Ms. Amgalan. Ms. Amgalan, please.
The microphone is needed.
Okay. Our warmest greetings from Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. On behalf of our members, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to co-organizers of today's webinar. The business opportunities is one of the main objectives of doing businesses. And I would like to invite on the podium Ms. Tsinda Yosh, Director of Investment Promotion Division of National Development Agency of Mongolia.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's taking a little bit time to adjust the presentation. I'm really sorry. Okay, I'll just start. Hello, everybody again, and I'm very honored to today make the presentation, and also India is very glad to have this conversation and a conference with Singaporean side. And my presentation consists of two sides. One is the investment and legal framework of Mongolia, and also the second one is FDI outlook of Mongolia. I brought some statistical numbers. Okay, let me start the introduction of International Investment Framework. Mongolia has been a member of WTO, a World Trade Organization, since 1997, and also joined the Washington Convention on Investment Dispute Settlement in 1996, also Seoul Convention on Investment Insurance in 1999. And also we are the member of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. We also signed the agreement on mutual protection and promotion of investment with 43 countries, and the agreement on avoidance of double taxation with 26 countries. Now it's the presentation slides begin. The Mongolian government has been taking an active policy to attract foreign direct investment. And for instance, in 2013, the parliament passed a new law on investment, which enables investment environment as open as possible for investors, focusing on more, for example, no approval to enter into market and buy a local company, no discrimination between foreign and local company, fast registration process, stability guarantees such as provision of tax stabilization certificate, and also flexibility and friendly conditions for investors. Okay. Oh. Okay, as I mentioned, the new law includes the tax and non-tax incentives, which is the most crucial part of this law. For the tax incentives, as you can see, the next slide, please. If the investor invests more 500 billion MNT, more than 500 billion MNT, they can make an investment agreement with Mongolian government to include their interest or get the governance and financial support. And also investor can apply for a stabilization certificate. This certificate, the investor can get it for 5 to 18 years, depending on which sector or where the location they invest. And this certificate that stabilizes the 4 types of tax amount, such as corporate income tax, VAT, custom duties, and mining resource exploitation fees for a certain period of time. That means if the law changes or if there is any increase on the tax, if the investor get a stabilization certificate, if the tax stays the same for this period of time. And also, Moreover, businesses that operate within the economic free zone, they are exempted from tax for the first 5 years, as well as small, medium enterprises are exempted from customs duty for importing of listed machines and equipment for manufacturing and processing. On the other hand, the non-tax incentives, which are land lease, labor training, as well as exemption of employment fees in certain sectors. This one, as a part of reform process, the government established the Investment Protection Council in 2016. The functions of the council include the protection of legitimate rights of investors, swift address of petitions and grievances related to government authorities, and reduce any possible risks for investors. In other words, the main purpose of this council is to resolve any grievances or any complaints from investors before it goes to the arbitrary court. And under this IPC Investment Protection Council, we have also established the Public-Private Consultative Committee in 2017. And the responsibility of this committee is to provide equal participation of board representatives of public and private sectors, get the recommendation while drafting and enacting laws, resolutions, policy documents that are related to investment. And 2018, and National Development Agency, our agency, and the International Finance Corporation of World Bank have conducted together the research report of investment reform map. And this research and evaluation were made on current state of investment environment of Mongolia, both legally and economically. The first main recommendation was to develop an investment policy statement. And so we have developed the last draft of this document and handed to the Cabinet Secretariat. And when the Cabinet Secretariat approves it, then it will be immediately into the force. And this document will be more detailed than the law, because government's position will be seen on this and which sector and where is it. It's more detailed. And second recommendation was to develop the sectoral strategy on FDI attraction. So we have worked on the food and light industry, mining and tourism sector, how we can attract on this sector, how we can attract the FDI on this sector. So as well, when it's approved, it will be also very detailed document how we attract FDI at which product, from where, etc. And third was to have systematic investor response serum. And this system is already available online, and this is a tracking mechanism to identify and resolve the complaints from investors related to government body. And this is an online system, so investors don't have to go any offices personally or hand any other official letter, etc. They can just make it the complaints grievance online and tracking their grievances, at which level their complaint is going, and also get their responses back. And fourth was to do some amendments on current investment law. And the first draft is already developed, and now we are collecting the comments from the other stakeholders. So when it is finished, it will be handed to Parliament. And also we have India set up the one-stop service center at the beginning of 2019. And the center provides services of 5 government bodies related to investors, including us, NDA, General Authority of State, Registration, Immigration Office, Tax Office, also Insurance Agency. So, as you can see, the number of service types and number of service, you can see the number of services, also type of services, both held in our one-stop services. And one-stop service has given over 40,000 services of 62 types of for foreign invested entities. Oh, sorry. And this is an Invest Assist system, which we are working on very intensely nowadays. So Invest Assist is the system which consists of 4 subsystems. And these 4 systems are the single window service system of the one-stop service center, also CRM system, which I mentioned before, and also statistic database and investment projects database. And this system enables data sharing with government bodies, which is shown on the screen. So if investor has to submit same document to both taxation office or immigration office, they don't have to submit it twice separately. They can just have to submit it once, and government bodies will share that information through this system. And also related government bodies will upload their information to this system regarding to investment, and it will create a huge database which enable information and service transparency for investors. And also all the information related to the investment seeking projects could be also found on this system. PIP, Public Investment Program from 2001 to 2025 have been just approved by the newly established parliament, and it includes all the necessary projects to be implemented. Here you can see the projects that are seeking the investment, so the sources have not been decided yet. So if you want to this project, you can just check our website. It's very detailed information is there. Yep. So I'd like to briefly turn our attention to FDI statistics. You can clearly see the increase of the FDI amount for the last 3 to 4 years, although the numbers of the new established companies are decreasing. So it shows that the investors' trust and confidence interests are rising and will rise further, I hope. And this is the FDI numbers by countries. If you look at the graph, over half of this is countries, yeah. And FDI, Mongolia's FDI stocks originates in 3 countries. One is China, second one is Netherlands, and third one is Canada. And Singapore stays in 5th location. I think it's quite good because the first 10 Singapore is so very big investors they are. And this is the numbers by sectors. And as you see, mining is the main sector destination for FDI coming to Mongolia. And second important sector is trade and catering services. This one is the numbers for Singapore. Maybe you will be more interested in it. As you, the tendency for FDI from Singapore is relatively increasing numbers. I believe these numbers will definitely increasing year by year. So the main sector for Singaporean companies are in the trade and catering services, and very few are the other ones, as you can see. Okay, here's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. And also, I'm very sorry to taking long. It's to properly work on this presentation.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tindayos. For many of you, the China-Mongolia-Russia economic corridor was an interesting topic. Now I would like to invite Ms. Nomon, Officer of the Investment Research Center under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Namun. I'm an officer at Investment Research Center. Today, I'll speak about Mongolia-Russia-China Economic Corridor. So this is the list of content of my presentation. Speaking about requirements and needs of Mongolia. Mongolia is a landlocked country with a vast territory which is considered to be the shortest geographical location to connect Asia and Europe. Such advantage is useful for Mongolia to expand its integrated international trade, transportations and logistics network. The development of transit transportation is important for active participation in world trade and economic networks, improving the economic situation and the development of the road and transportation sector in the country. The government of Mongolia has concluded bilateral and trilateral long-term mutually beneficial agreements with neighboring countries to gain access for its export products to the world market, to become from landlocked country to land-linked country. The government also works in a direction to optimize transportation to the seaport and increase transit passage to Mongolian territory. Going a bit further with a view to facilitate and accelerate the establishment of the economic corridor, 5 summits on a high level were held. The first summit was held in Dushanbe, 2014. The focus was on cooperation, economic cooperation. The second summit was in Ufa, 2015, agreed to coordinate Mongolian Development Road Program, Russian Eurasian Economic Union concept, Chinese Belt and Road Initiative to create economic corridor. The third summit was held in Tashkent, 2016. During the summit, the program on establishing Mongolia-Russia-China economic corridor was signed. The fourth summit was held in 2018 in Qingdao, agreed to accelerate cooperation in such areas as infrastructure, interconnectivity, and promote sub-regional cooperation in adjacent areas of the 3 countries. And the last summit was held in Bishkek, 2019. Leaders of 3 countries put emphasis on building gas pipeline from Russia to China via Mongolia. As I've mentioned before, the third Tashkent summit, the content of the economic program is here on the slides. Please take a close look. So it mainly covers 32 projects, which are covering such fields as transportation infrastructure, cooperation in industrial sector, development of border crossing points, facilitation of trade and inspection procedures, cooperation in energy sector, environment, technology, education, science and technology cooperation, agriculture. So since 2016, Mongolian side is actively working on the realization of the above mentioned 32 projects. So program is financed by government budget, private sector investment, PPP. Financing sources are also considered to be Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, BRICS New Development Bank, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Interbank Consortium, Silk and Road Fund, other national and multinational institutions. Another important forum was held in 2018, the Eastern Economic Forum. During this forum, Memorandum of Modalities of the program was signed in Vladivostok, also in September 2018. Decided to accelerate the program implementation. And going further, the main projects of the implementation of those 32 projects were decided. The first one was railway projects. Mongolia, Russia, and China has agreed to modernize the central railway line. Road projects, Mongolian national road construction companies jointly created a consortium to build a highway, AH3, Asian Networks. So far, pre-feasibility study has been conducted. And the last but not the least project is related to the energy. The gas pipeline project, Power of Siberia through territory of Mongolia, is under consideration. So, in order to develop a feasibility study for gas pipeline projects, special purpose venture was established in August of this year. Deputy Prime Minister of Mongolia, Satbatur, and Chairman of the Board of Gazprom, Alexei Miller, signed an agreement to establish special purpose venture. Border crossing points in operation. So, going in detail of the corridor, due to its geographical location, the Zaminot Free Zone is the main gateway to the three countries' economic corridor. So it's possible to provide transportation and logistics services to Northeast Asian countries through the Zaminot and Aftonbozak Free Zone to Russia and European countries and expand foreign markets. Besides infrastructure projects, there are other projects related to science and technology and field of tourism. So the Great Golden Ring of Altai covers Mongolia, Russia, China, and Kazakhstan. It's an international tourist ring around the Altai Mountains. There is high possibility to develop a variety of entertainment services for tourists, such as eagle hunting, multi-ethnic history, culture, archaeology, customs, etc. In addition to what I've said before, another very important sector could have been energy as well again. The President of Mongolia, Mr. Batotlak, during the 4th Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, 2018, called for the establishment of a Northeast Asian energy supergrid to provide electricity obtained from renewables to Northeast Asian countries. Field of medicine is also very important. There, as usual, seminars and workshops on health could be conducted. So, jumping to conclusions. We are to conduct cost-benefit and feasibility study of the priority project. It's important to establish effective relations in line with policy and planning system, not only within the country, but also with neighbors. Since 2016, with the signing of the program on establishment of the economic corridor, the projects related to the infrastructure are being implemented by now. It should be highlighted that mega projects such as gas pipeline, railway, and highway construction found its support on international regional level, not only domestically, but on international regional level as well. Economic corridor participating parties moved further from common initiative and willingness to cooperate to realization of the program on establishment of the economic corridor. Even now, during the pandemic, the work is going on at full speed. Once it comes to the cooperation with Singaporean side, there is a wide range of attractive fields such as agriculture, education, healthcare, IT, and digitalization to work on. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you everyone. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Duran, the CEO of MNCCI, for closing remarks. After that, we will continue with our business matching sessions. Thank you.
Your Excellency Ambassador, Mr. Haugdorch, Your Excellencies, state officials, and Mr. Darius Lim, the Assistant CEO of SPF, and participant guests. It gives me an immense pleasure to participate in this event. And Singapore is Mongolia's 5th largest investor. So it's understandable that the business community is giving great attention to this event. Although our investment volume is steadily increasing, it is, of course, in our mutual interests that we diversify into other sectors of the economy and increase investment in non-mining, cooperation in non-mining sectors. During his visit, His Excellency Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Lee, stated that he would open new areas of cooperation between two countries and enhance bilateral cooperation. And with the economic consequences of COVID-19, the state has officially expressed that the exports and foreign direct investment will be key areas of attention for the newly established government. This kind of, from today's webinar, we expect positive results, useful actions to move our project, mutual projects. And I hope this event will meet the expectations from both sides. And I want to confirm our assurance that Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry will facilitate, support, and provide policy support to investment projects implemented by two countries. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Duran. We have come to the customized business matching sessions for today's webinar. We hope everyone has a fruitful time at our webinar so far. Before we move on to the business matching sessions, please take a few minutes to fill out the feedback form that you will see on your screen shortly. This will allow us to better understand your needs and to serve you better in our future events. For companies who are not involved in the business matching sessions, thank you for joining us today. You may leave the Zoom meeting once you have completed the feedback form. As we begin the business matching sessions, I would like to briefly go through the process for the business matching meetings. Companies who have received a confirmation email on the time slot to meet with your counterparts, please wait in the main room and will be invited to a breakout room at your allocated time. In the breakout rooms, you will have exactly 10 minutes to interact with your counterparts. An SBF staff will be assigned to each breakout room to facilitate the meeting. If you have any queries, feel free to reach out to them. We will be beginning the round 1 of the breakout session shortly. Please click join when the system prompts you the invitation to the breakout rooms. Thank you.